What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I want to break down what's happening with the news coming out for the markets over the next few hours and when Nvda is going to be announcing its earnings, which is going to cause a big move. I want to talk about some important levels to watch for and what's going on this intraday update video. But before I break anything down, before I get into any more details, let me just say a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. So anyways, let's talk about the market. How are things looking? We're seeing an attempt to rebound a bit on SPY. Same thing is happening throughout the markets. Tesla came down just a bit, but overall we got some good news at the very last minute for Tesla, which led it to getting a nice pop right before market open. That helped Tesla make a nice U-turn. And so far, the market's been quite flat for the most part, with Tesla showing some strength. So the question is, how is the market going to move? What's going to happen with Nvidia's earnings and what's going on right now? The answer is at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the FOMC minutes coming out. This is going to likely cause a big move or like at least a surge in volatility. It doesn't always guarantee a massive size move, like a 1% move for ETFs or anything that big. Not always. Sometimes it could happen, but it depends on the reports and what's announced on it. So you want to be very careful when this comes out. It could cause the market to pop or even drop. We'll be listening, not listening, but reading what comes out in the reports. We'll be seeing what the Fed is going to be saying. We're going to learn more about their projections for the rate hikes, what they see for the economy, and different views of different Fed speakers when it comes to their monetary policy. Once again, that's going to be very important. We'll see how this affects the markets. Should cause a move. Likely it's going to be something that shakes the markets a bit, and we'll be watching to see what this causes. Now, after all this data comes out, we have Nvidia's earnings. I just want to remind you all that we only have about just over 3 hours left until the market closes. So if you want to hold your positions overnight, there is a risk associated with doing that. What I mean is Nvidia has earnings after market close today. This could cause the market to gap down or even gap up tomorrow. So there could be a risk in doing so. So if you want to play Nvidia's earnings, you could. A lot of money could be made. But at the same time, like I'm saying, there could be some risk and you just want to be very careful. There's going to likely be a big IV crush on Nvidia. We're going to likely see Nvidia, the premiums are going to lose value. So in order to make money on Nvidia, you're going to be expecting a big move. We need a big move for people to make money on those premiums because they're really jacked up right now. So I just want to warn you about those risks. But at the same time, right, crazy money could always be made. So it kind of goes both ways. It's your choice to take the risk. So now let's break down the market. How are things looking? SPY is making attempts to rebound on the smaller time frames. It actually managed to get above the 5 minutes 200 EMA. And the next level is if we try to continue to break out above 435.5, we could see an attempt to fill this gap very close to this, like into the 454s or just like under that. So we could get very close to that level. We could push a little bit more, but don't worry too much about this move quite yet because, like I said earlier, we have the FOMC minutes and we'll see what that causes for the markets. We could come up to retest this trend line right here. So this previous support becoming resistance. And we'll see what happens around the 454 area if we do pump a bit more. And we'll see if the FOMC minutes cause this thing to push up back to 455 plus, or if we get like a rejection here and we come right back down and start sinking towards 452 all over again. So watch for the minutes, see what they cause. That's going to be very telling. Tesla was doing relatively well today because we got some good news that came out. Now, in the morning, we had some bad news for Tesla. We got some negative news. I was telling you, if you want to turn bullish, you want to see this area right here break, and we would turn bullish. If we turn bearish, you want to see this also break down here. We ended up seeing on the hourly, Tesla got a small drop, then a pump because we were seeing liquidity being grabbed down here. And then we started to see, a lot of pushing to the upside, a lot of buyers stepping in. Tesla ended up testing 242.5. You can see right here, this resistance is slowing it down a bit, made an attempt to go a little higher. And now Tesla's kind of shopping in this area. It's been stuck here for about 3 hours. And now I would say that Tesla might just continue to be range bound between 240 and like 243, going back and forth for now. But whatever happens could still change Tesla and still affect it. we got some good news, which is what helps Tesla bounce right before market open. That is the Chinese insurance registrations came out, and we saw a 28% increase relative to the previous week. So that's good news for Tesla. They did relatively well. And now at this point, we're going to be watching to see how this goes. If we get a nice push to the upside, if the FOMC minutes cause upside at 2 p.m., we could see Tesla try to get close to 245. If not, we could be back testing this trend line, coming back down to 238. Tesla's looking like it's losing some steam, but overall it still maintains relative strength compared to the market. So the best thing to do is just be very patient and see how Tesla holds up and watch your levels, and then we'll wait and see what the move is once the FOMC minutes come out. Same thing on the QQQ. I'm being very patient, guys. I'm waiting to see what happens with the minutes. QQQ has been relatively weak, especially because Nvidia has cooled off a bit. We have this big gap that formed. We're going to see if this thing can try to push a little higher, try to fill this gap thanks to Nvidia or not. If we're about to come back down, you'll be watching this thing retest like at the 385 to 386. If we're bullish, you want to see it come back up to 390 plus. Right now we're in the middle, kind of trading sideways. So I would just be a little patient with this and wait and see how it goes. But I just wanted to note that being patient is very important in a market like this because you never know what's going to happen with these minutes. All I can tell you is that for now we're trying to uptrend. We're making an attempt to get back to 388.5 to 388.8, which is where we have this like wick right here. We'll be watching that zone. We're just trying to get higher, but now we're testing 388. So we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm just going to be patient and wait and see what happens with the minutes. On Apple stock, Apple is, in my opinion, not looking as strong as before. I was talking about this potential wedge that was developing, not wedge, this channel, and we ended up breaking below it. So, if anything, I'm not going to worry too much about this from this point on. Instead, we could be forming another potential like inverse cup right here. We had the bearish divergence that's starting to play out. We're going to be watching to see if we could close above 190. If Apple closes above 190, we'll be in a decent place for tomorrow. Nvidia could affect whether or not Apple continues to push or not. So watch it very carefully. But I do want to note that we have this imbalance down here towards this like 189.5 area. That's going to act as a magnet if we end up closing below 190, and this thing is going to start sinking back down to 189. So it's going to likely make a move to the downside if we get a weak close. If you get a decent close and we close above 190, there's going to be some hope from a technical standpoint. But once again, we'll see what Nvidia causes for it. So we'll be watching that for now. Also watch and see how the minutes affect it. It could cause a little pop, but we'll just have to see. For Nvidia, it looks interesting. We got a nice pop up to about 506. That's where we topped during the pre-market. And we got this rejection off Nvidia. We bounced off our support right over here at this 495 area, coming back up towards 498. You can see it right here. It came just a little bit over that before coming back down. If we break this, then we have 500 coming next. If the FOMC minutes cause a move to the upside, we could see Nvidia try to get closer to 500. If we see a move to the downside, we could see Nvidia sink towards 490. I don't know about 490, maybe like 492 to 490, that range right there. Because during the pre-market yesterday, we saw this thing trying to hold 492 specifically. So we'll see that low right there, and then we'll also be watching 490. It all depends on the minutes, but don't really worry too much about Nvidia just yet. We'll see what happens after its earnings. The market's expecting a big move. If they do very well and guidance is strong, we could see Nvidia try to break all-time highs again. If not, there's going to be a rug pull coming, so you want to be open-minded. You want to be prepared for this just to be safe. All right, so we'll see what happens with the minutes coming out in just a couple of hours, and I'll be very patient in the market like this. Patience is a virtue and patience is key. I will see you guys very, very soon. Once again, this is your last warning. If you want to hold anything overnight through Nvidia's earnings, that is your choice. You could make good money on Nvidia or other plays, but at the same time, there is risk. So just be careful, guys. And I just want the best for everyone. All right. Thank you again. Have a great day. And I'll see you guys very soon in a couple of hours. Thank you again and peace out.